taken me literally years of actively trying to uncondition my brain from the message that I need to work harder, work longer, do more, and still not be good enough. I've carried this story with me my entire life of the need to prove myself by doing more and by being productive. And what I've seen in my own life is that not only does that create a lot of anxiety and stress and feelings of unworthiness, but it's actually been so destructive to my health as a woman. When I think of hustle culture, I think of the idea that we're sold in modern culture that we need to be really productive and we need to keep our heads down and keep grinding in order to achieve a certain status or level of success. And the piece that comes along with this is self-sacrifice and the idea that we need to put our work in front of our personal lives, our relationships, our health, and general sense of well-being. I feel like it's a really common mentality that is prevalent in a lot of industries out there, and the experience that I have with hustle culture came mainly from my time as a line cook in the restaurant industry. That mentality is like the backbone of the restaurant industry. It is so toxic. Not only are you expected to work overtime each week, but you are supposed to do that off the clock. You can't eat while you're working, despite being completely surrounded by food. You can't take breaks during the day. It's like you'd be lucky if you get 5 minutes at the end of your shift to scarf down some food. And the job goes on despite burns, despite cuts, despite if you are sick with the flu. The job must go on and you are expected to be there and to not complain, to put your head down, and to get your work done. And I was in that environment for 7 years, and I really think that it had an effect on my self-esteem and my feelings of self-worth. And I took so much pride in the work that I did, and I really connected my sense of value to the ability to thrive in that hustle culture and to be seen as good and to be seen as worthy. It's really just a reflection on people pleasing and this idea that our sense of self-worth and our sense of self-love is found outside of ourselves. It's such a flawed mentality to go through life with, because what ends up happening is the goalpost is constantly moving, and no matter how much you achieve and no matter what milestones you reach, it's just never enough. The second that you've reached that place, you're looking up and you're looking ahead to what's next and not being able to relish those successes and for it to be enough. And so, yeah, I was in that mentality for the better part of 7 years. And after removing myself from that and becoming a stay-at-home mom, it became really clear to me that so much of my identity and sense of value was wrapped up in my work. And what I noticed specifically from becoming a stay-at-home mom was that it didn't feel like enough to me. I didn't feel like I was doing enough and that I was contributing in society. And so I was carrying this energy around with me everywhere I went. Even in regards to the culture around being a mother, I feel like it's so prevalent in our society that term of being a super mom and being able to give birth and bounce back quickly and go back to your pre-pregnancy weight, and then to be able to take your kids to all the activities and do all the things, and all the while you're getting in your daily workout and you are cleaning the house and you are cooking all the meals and you are also probably doing some sort of side hustle, or you have some part-time job, and it's just so exhausting. It just breeds this sense of not enoughness. And I don't know about you, but for me, that story of needing to do more and keep succeeding and striving in order to be good enough was really holding me back in my own life and making me feel like there was this hole in my life that no matter how much I tried, just seemed to grow bigger and couldn't be fixed. Once I recognized the fallacy of the hustle culture and the idea that our self-worth is connected to the things that we do outside of ourselves, I was able to redirect my energy and start to build myself up again. And what that looked like for me in my own life was first reflecting on what it is that I feel passionate about and what it is that drives me, kind of looking at the activities in my life that not only spark creativity, but put me into a flow state in which I can immerse myself in that activity for several hours and have that self-determination and that self-motivation and that feeling of satisfaction from doing deep work that is actually satiating you on a deep level. Another thing that I started doing to build myself up and to change that story of worthiness was reflect on the relationships in my life and to determine whether or not there were toxic people in my life that were holding me back and keeping me in this loop of believing that I'm not enough or that I needed to do more to be enough. I stopped engaging in the meaningless tasks that I was creating for myself day to day, what I would like to call shallow work, the things that I was filling my day with that were adding stress to my life but weren't adding any value. And I started meditating daily and actively working to change the stories and the thoughts that I was carrying around my identity and around my self-worth. And what I've seen in my own life from implementing all of these changes is that not only am I feeling so driven about the things that I am doing day to day, but I have this level of self-confidence and self-satisfaction knowing that I'm doing something that's for me and not something to prove myself to other people. Obviously, it's still scary stepping into the unknown and not knowing where that path is going to take you. But I also believe that if you're coming from an authentic place and you're pouring your energy into something that you're truly passionate about, good things are gonna come from that. I would love to hear your experience with hustle culture if you'd like to share, and what practices you're bringing into your own life to combat that and to build up your own self-esteem and your own sense of self-worth. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to hear more content from me, and thanks for watching.